Reporting live in West Charlotte, I'm Billie Jean Shaw, NBC Charlotte. The suspects ran on foot, but I want to show you just how horrifying this story is. Take a look at this window. You can see where the bullets flew through the window while those two young boys were sleeping inside. We're just learning from investigators Austin Steele's body was dismembered and buried in this backyard that you see behind me. Brooke, the shooting happened at a home here on Old East Limestone Road. Then where we're told that student who was taken into custody last night was planning a school shooting right here at Central High School. Police say there's no reasonable explanation as to why someone would shoot at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times inside of a home. We're actually going to step over some siding here. A lot of debris blown all across the area. We can feel it cooling down. We can see the sky getting a little darker. Well, students who drop out say the classroom setting just wasn't for them. We got some recent stats from the South Carolina Department of Education, and they tell us that 50,000 students across the state dropped out of school. And get this, 200 of those students were right here in Rock Hill. When we talk about, millennials not showing up to the polls, not being excited, we have to talk about why. So we're going to get the conversation going. If elected president, what would be your timeline?
It'll be one of the highest priorities that we have.
And new developments out of the Lowcountry this morning. A federal judge has denied a motion to keep out the cell phone video capturing the shooting of Walter Scott. People think of Reverend Graham as being deeply rooted in North Carolina, but he visited South Carolina plenty of times. You talked about his visit in the 50s at the height of segregation. And partying like it's 1973. Well, last night the Gamecock men's basketball team notched its first NCAA tournament victory. Sean just showed us what it takes to be an American Ninja Warrior, so I'm going to see if I can try it out. When we learned 9 people were gunned down during a Bible study at Mother Emanuel Church. And while the victims were quickly tagged as the Emanuel 9, there were 12 people in Bible study that night. Now 2 of them, Felicia Sanders and Polly Shepard, are sharing their stories.
I think about what I could have done differently. What could we have said differently?
It was on that night at Mother Emanuel, Sanders, her 11-year-old granddaughter, and Polly Shepard witnessed 9 murders.
77 shots.
NBC Charlotte exclusively getting a look at the suspect accused of murdering a York County law enforcement officer. Rock Hill attorney Montreal Belton is representing McCall. NBC Charlotte spoke to him exclusively as McCall was being processed Thursday morning. What can you tell us what's next for him?
Well, at this point, I'm not in a position to say anything about the case.
56 years ago, David Williamson, Willie McLeod, or myself could not sit at this lunch counter.
Because of the color of our skin, we weren't allowed to sit down and eat.
They'd spit on you, curse at you, throw bricks and rocks at you.
But there was no brick that would block them or 7 of their college friends on their journey for justice. Governor Henry McMaster only speaking to NBC Charlotte, answering a burning question for parents and educators nationwide. Should teachers be armed? Is that a bill that you would support?
Well, if it comes to my desk, I'll sign it.
2 years ago, he was diagnosed with a rare eye disease, causing him to go legally blind. But what his eyes don't see,
I'm happy,
his heart can feel.
There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to go home.
His voice can tell.
I dream about being a songwriter.
And his mind can see a future in the spotlight.
It starts with a T. Taylor Swift. Can you look at this, please?
In Lancaster.
That's all you know?
Billie Jean Shaw, NBC Charlotte.